Yes, yes, people. The time is almost here. Tomorrow, City travel to Anfield, man, and I think we need to win the game. And this is it. The big preview. Myself and Hussam. This is football. We're going to be speaking about everything. We need to find out if Liverpool have a starting 11 because the amount of injuries they've got is crazy. So we're going to go through that as well. And then just a sort of general feeling. Do Liverpool need to win the game? Does City need to win the game? If it's a draw, what does that sort of leave us in? But before we get into it, guys, as always, please make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to This Is Football as well. Hussam, man, tomorrow it's a big day, man. Just FYI, before we get into it, we're recording this before Arsenal play. Yeah, so just FYI because people obviously Arsenal play.
Come on, Brentford.
Yeah, hopefully Brentford have got the W. Bro, this is a big game, man. And obviously we've had discussions this week about like what happened. Like, do we need to win the game? But so sort of like before we get into the specifics, what's your sort of general take on Liverpool's position there? Do you think Liverpool needs to win the game, draw? Like, what's your sort of views before we sort of get into the details?
There's only one correct mentality for this game. First of all, big up for having me. If you're watching this right now, hit the like button. Subscribe to It's LB right now. Big up to you. This is the big one right here. The only right mentality to have is to just want to win the game. This is the absolute correct mentality. We can afford the draw, all this. I'm sure you've heard it yourself. It's just so annoying. It's like speaking to people who just haven't been in title races before, even though they have been in title races. You know, I've spoken to you about this and we've actually agreed completely on it. The only correct mentality is it's a must-win game. And it's a must-win game for Liverpool as well, make no mistake. I ain't going to sit up here and rely on Spurs, Aston Villa, or whoever to win me a league title. I want Liverpool Football Club to win the league title by ourselves. That's what I want. And the only thing is that the true thing is you have to rely on yourself and yourself only. My issue with this whole argument is, and I'm sure you've seen from your own fan base, like, oh, Liverpool are going to drop points, Arsenal are going to drop points, City are going to drop points. Yeah, but we don't know that. Arsenal could easily win 10 in a row. City could easily win 10 in a row. Liverpool could win 10 in a row as well. So there's no such thing as, are going to drop points like it's a guarantee. There is no guarantee. It's just like, I look at this game and prototypically, obviously we got a draw at the Etihad, which is a better result for Liverpool than it is for City. But, beating City at Anfield will, of course, shift as well a bit of that momentum because momentum is important in a title race. So for me, it's a must-win game for both. And, this third club that's been involved between us called Arsenal, they will be sat there praying for a draw. So as soon as City score, they'd want Liverpool to score. As soon as Liverpool score, they want City to score. Because if they beat Brentford, I believe, I could be mistaken, I think I am correct. If they do win, they do go top of the league, for before the Sunday game. So obviously they'll be sat there praying for a draw. And if they do get a draw, the way that City have been playing, they will have some form of confidence and belief headed into the Etihad that they're going to get something. So if we draw, we just put Arsenal in the driver's seat. To be honest with you, that's what.
Yeah, you know what's funny. And by the way, if you're a Liverpool fan watching this, let me know in the comments. You agree with Hussam? Like, do you think you need to win? Because obviously it's quite interesting because I think there's two sets of fans. And listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong, but like these two sets of fans I'm very much on the same page as you, where I think City need to win at Anfield. And obviously, you think Liverpool need to win at Anfield against City. But there'll be Liverpool fans who think a draw's okay and City fans that think a draw's okay. And like I say, whilst I disagree with that, you're all entitled to your own views. I think City need to win the game. And I've said this and I've been clear about this because there's multiple reasons. First of all, I look at the fixtures and I know me and you disagree on this, but I genuinely see only one team that I'm going to do a pray along for Liverpool. And that's Aston Villa. And that's not because I'm trying to play it down. I just genuinely think Liverpool beat everybody else. So basically, what I'm saying is, if I think a draw is okay, I'm effectively saying that I'm effectively putting all my eggs into one basket, Aston Villa. And that's on the proviso, by the way, that my team doesn't drop any points. Now, combine that with the fact that if City draw against Liverpool or get beat, and to be honest, I think if we get beat, I'm pretty much. I think there's still a chance we could win it, but I think that's pretty much league over if we lose. To be honest with you, if City draw, we're then going into the Arsenal game at home, and whilst Arsenal haven't beaten us for a long time, and we've not lost at the Etihad Stadium since December 2022, I believe it is, we've only won 2 games against the top 6. So how can I be like that confident that my team can beat Arsenal If I can't beat Liverpool, home or away. If I can't beat Chelsea, home or away. If I can't beat Spurs at home. If I can't beat Aston Villa away, like I think it becomes a little bit arrogant to suggest that we can't beat any of those teams, but don't worry about Arsenal, the best team in the league at the moment on form. We'll beat them. I just think like that's it just doesn't compute with me. And on top of that, after that, you then got Aston Villa, and I know like again we should be beating them at home, but how can I sit here with chest and say, oh yeah, don't worry about that game. We'll beat them. We'll beat Arsenal when we beat no one else other than Manchester United, who are absolutely shambolic right now. So my position on this is very clear. I think City need to win the game. Lucky, I think that we will win the game. Hopefully we will. But I just think it's different type of views. And it's quite interesting about that. You spoke there about the mentality, bro, because I was just watching the overlap fan debate with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. I don't know if you've ever seen it, like where they have all the fans on. And the Arsenal fan on there, because Gary Neville said to the Arsenal fan, he said, I think Arsenal need to beat Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. And it's interesting, the mentality, because the Arsenal fan said, no, I don't think we do. And he said a draw will be okay. And Gary Neville said, no, that's not right, because again, you need to have the league in your own hands.
We were actually in Arsenal's position, by the way, the quadruple charge season. If you remember, we weren't top of the league. We were never top of the league that whole year. Look, let's not be shameless. Like when you're top of the league, when City haven't played yet, I don't count that as top of the league. But like we weren't top of the league. We were in that position, and there were Liverpool fans saying it's okay to draw at the Etihad. We drew at the Etihad and we didn't end up winning the league. Had we beaten City at the Etihad, I think we would ended up being league winners. My only problem, LB, is, and I've told you this, and I feel like you genuinely get my argument. My problem is people disregard momentum. People completely ignore momentum like it's not a thing. Like, have we not seen a momentum shift in a title race like 90% of the seasons? Last season, you beating Arsenal at the Emirates was a momentum shift, because the Arsenal players went down and it was just like, oh yeah, it's over. These guys are, when you beat them at the Etihad, you have to beat your title rivals. Now, on paper, because people like to deal with numbers and facts and, just number-based, statistic-based reality. On paper, you want to hear the truth based on numbers. Based on numbers, City don't need to win. Liverpool don't need to win. Arsenal don't need to win. That's based on numbers and statistics and all that, because Liverpool probably gonna drop points, City probably gonna drop points, Arsenal probably gonna drop points. But if we include actual intangibles into this title race, momentum shift is a real thing. No one can sit up here. Listen, sometimes we laugh at Arsenal and stuff like that, but if Arsenal beat City at the Etihad, what's stopping them from winning the league? Because if Arsenal beat City at the Etihad, that has such a momentum shift and such a it gives them a feeling of invincibility, if you would like, because then they're not going to have a scared mentality headed into the North London derby or headed into a Chelsea at home game. That's why I'm saying, from my perspective, and I completely agree with you, as a City fan, you should want to beat Liverpool at Anfield. As a Liverpool fan, you should want to beat City at Anfield. Simple as. And a draw will only do Arsenal good. This is the reality. It doesn't do me any favors, doesn't do you any favors. Is it over if we draw? No, it's not over for you, it's not over for me. But it just puts Arsenal in the driving seat. Arsenal sat there lurking in the background, just waiting for us to draw. And if we do draw, and somehow, some way, they do beat City at the Etihad, which is not impossible. It is a possibility. I'm not saying it's likely, no. And they haven't beaten you, of course, since 2015. But even you watching your current team perform, you're like, okay, there's a possibility they beat us. It's not likely, but it's a possibility. So, yeah, the problem is we need to start including momentum in these title race things, because people completely ignore it. We need to.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, man. And like I say, for me, I just think that if I'm looking at my own club here, looking at City, I've said for a number of weeks, if we come out of the Aston Villa game top of the table, we win the league. Because after that, momentum will carry us through the other games.
Thank you.
Momentum, like when City won 14 games in a row or 15 or whatever it was, to win the league when we beat you, right? Did we win every single game because we just went out there and we were mint? No. When you're on a mad win streak, momentum just carries you through games. Like the games just fly by, and you get to 90 minutes, you've won 2-0, and you're like, I don't even remember like what's going on. Like it's crazy how momentum just takes you through, the confidence. And not only that, is if you're on a 10-15 match winning streak or whatever it is, or whatever the streak is, sometimes the opposition can be beat before they even step out on the football pitch. And in fact,
Mentally.
and in fact, I know it's the extreme here, but if you look at the Sheffield United versus Arsenal game the other day, that is I know it's extremes, but that is the perfect example of it. Sheffield United, they might not have even turned up. They were
hopeless.
Bro, did you see the clip where the Arsenal players were in the tunnel and they stared at the Sheffield United players? Bro, them Sheffield United players, they were beaten before they even stepped on the pitch. Because of the Arsenal form. Arsenal have been battering Newcastle, West Ham, all these teams putting 5-6 goals past them. Sheffield United, one of the worst teams we've ever seen in this Premier League ever, are sitting there thinking we're bottom of the league. We're going to get absolutely... They knew they was going to get beat, and that's because of momentum. Now, if Arsenal would have lost the game before, maybe Sheffield United would have gone, you know what? They've just lost. Maybe we can do something here. But it's not, because the momentum carries you through. So for me, I think City need to beat Liverpool. And I think if we do beat Liverpool, I think we probably then do beat Arsenal and Aston Villa, because of the momentum will take us through those games. And I think we'll go on and win the league. But if we lose against Liverpool, it's 4 points with an inferior goal difference. So essentially it's 5 points. You know, Arsenal will be top of the league. They've got momentum. City have no momentum. Don't be surprised to see City potentially drop points against Arsenal as well. But this is why I'm backing City to win this game against Liverpool. It's difficult. We've only won twice there in the last 20 years. But I believe that we can go to... bro, I believe that we can go there.
You're counting the COVID game. Wow.
Nah, bro, I'll count that. I have to. I have to count
Empty Anfield. You know who also won at empty Anfield? Like plenty of crap clubs won at empty Anfield. Burnley beat us at empty Anfield. Not quite sure that counts right there, LB. You have to beat us at full.
Nah, but bro, I have to. Otherwise,
it hasn't happened since 2003. Have some shame.
You have to find, when you're in these title races, you have to find whatever small things you can grab and hold on to, because it's crazy stressful. And
okay, then if an Arsenal fan tells you they've beaten you twice this season, you can't deny it, because they've beaten you in the Community Shield.
Of course, and Arsenal, but Arsenal should be doing that, bro. Arsenal should be doing that, because Arsenal needs a mentality shift. Like this guy on the show, this overlap thing that I was talking about. I'm not going to dig at him. I just think they've got the wrong mentality, in my opinion. And it's just my view. Like I say, you're all entitled to your own opinion, but I just think when you're in these title races, you have to win football matches. 2 seasons that we won the Premier League over Liverpool by a point or whatever, Liverpool lost less games than Manchester City. Twice. In one of those years, they lost one. You lost one game. You lost one game and come second because you drew too many games. The Premier League has changed from 15 years ago. Because 15 years ago, 80 points, 83, 84 points would win you the title. Yeah? So you could draw games. Draws was okay. You come away from a draw and say, we got a point. It's okay. Draws are shit now, I'm afraid to say. I'm sorry, guys. Draws are the killers, and the proof is in the pudding. The higher the points requirement for winning the Premier League becomes, the worse a point becomes. And that's just the truth. And that's why I think right now City need to be beating Liverpool. But bro, let me talk to you about the Liverpool team and sort of how you're faring at the moment. Because listen, at the beginning of the season,
go. Speaking of mentality, LB. Speaking of mentality, here we go. You get me? Shout out the Tom Littles of the world and all these guys who love that crap Thursday night competition. Go on, LB. Segue the segment.
I will segue, bro. I want you to tell me, do Liverpool have a starting 11 available for this football match? And and talk to me. Obviously, you can talk to me now about last night's result. Obviously, we're recording this on Friday. The game against Sparta. Kanate went off holding his hamstring. Is he available, bro? Talk to me about your sort of team, Liverpool, where you're at right now, bro.
If I meet you, outside the Etihad, and I punch you in the stomach, and nothing happens to you, you wouldn't want to get punched again. So you just move on the next day and you come back to the Etihad. If you see me, you'll try to avoid me just so you don't get punched, just so you don't feel that pain. I feel like yesterday was the punch in the stomach that we needed for people to actually wake up and realize the Europa League isn't as important as people try to make it out to be. I tell you what the problem is, LB. The Conference League is the problem. Because the introduction of the Conference League now, by definition, makes Europa League not the lowest European competition. It's now the second. It's now in second place. You know, it used to be Champions League and then Europa, and that's it. Now with the introduction of the conference, it's like, the Europa League it's not the Conference League, is it? So like people act like it's like some form of important game. You know, yesterday's game genuinely proved to me, and you know how obviously I was doing a watch along for it, and in the chat, as soon as Konate went down, the entirety of the energy changed. Yesterday, I had apologies. Yesterday, people in my chat saying, Hussam, I'm sorry, you were right. Hussam, I should have listened. I promise you, I swear to you, can just go back. The live chat replays on. Just go look at the replay. As soon as a player goes down, everyone's energy changes. The reality is, people tell me if I say we have bigger fish to fry, it's an Arsenal mentality. The reality is, Liverpool are not Arsenal. Liverpool have 6 Champions Leagues. When you have 6 Champions Leagues, the Europa by definition doesn't matter as much. This is just the fact of the matter. It's like asking a Madrid fan or an AC Milan fan or a Barcelona fan or a Bayern Munich fan, do you care about the Europa League? It's not a snobby attitude. It's not an elitist attitude. It's just who we are as a club. When you've got 6 supercars parked in your garage, you don't care about that Prius. You know, that's like, oh, the new Prius just dropped. I really want to get it. I genuinely don't care about it. So I pray for health and health only from this Europa thing, because it's just and it's so jarring because Klopp is taking it so seriously as well. The team I expect to see Kelleher, which you have to give him props. He's been really good recently. I expect some people think they'll see Bradley. Some people think they'll see Bradley. I don't think they will. I know my manager LB, and I'll remind you this Sunday, Gomez is going to be our starting right back. He's going to go a lot more defensive than you think. I think he's going to go Gomez in.
Is he available? I heard some people saying he wasn't going to be available for this game.
No, I think he'll be fine. He should be fine. So I think Gomez is going to be over there. It's with a Z, not with an S. He's not Portuguese. He's not Portuguese. LB, crying out loud. He's literally from London. Anyway, centre back partnership. Thank God he's not injured. Thank God he's not injured. It's going to be Van Dijk and Konate. That's what I expect to see. Because obviously Jurgen Klopp's comments post-game is we just took him off precautionary, which is good. Now, if we have Kwanzaa starting this game, I am absolutely dreading. I don't even know what word in the English dictionary to use to think of Kwanzaa versus Haaland. Sorry, because I will be absolutely dreading it. My stomach will be so far down my body, it'll be in my toe if Kwanzaa plays against Haaland. I expect to see Robertson.
Yeah, I've seen him back.
Left back. Yes, this is gonna be the back four. Now, people watching this may be like, Hussam, I would start Bradley. Yeah, but it's not about what you would do. This is what I think Klopp would do, brother. Forget me. This is what Klopp will do. The reason why I say this is I think Klopp has always been a bit more cautious defensively against Manchester City. Same way Pep has slightly edited, because here's the thing, Klopp and Pep will play their style of football against whoever, but sometimes you have to slightly edit it out of respect for the opponent. I think midfield 3 is crystal clear, probably going to be Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. That's the 3 right there. Endo obviously in the 6, McAllister on the left, Szoboszlai on the right. That's the thing that makes sense. One thing I will say about Szoboszlai is, despite he hasn't really had and you know LB will know what I'm about to say, he hasn't really had a big game against a big team, and he hasn't Szoboszlai hasn't gotten like a GA or performed incredibly well. One thing I will give Szoboszlai is his work rate. He's always there defensively. So he's always someone who's there defensively, helping out the right-hand side. He's always someone who's available. He played an important role Arsenal at home. He played really well defensively. So I think that's one thing we have to give.
Is he going to be fully match fit? Because he's only just come back from injury, hasn't he?
Yeah, but this is where Europa does have some benefits. Playing these players for 45 minutes means that they are match fit. So this is what I'd say. Like, you know, unfortunately, Curtis Jones is out. He was the in-form midfielder for us. Now, the front 3, in my opinion, selects itself. And that's, of course, the Egyptian king on the right. I predict that he will start the game. Yep, I don't think Klopp is going to be taking any risks in terms of starting him in the game. I predict Nunez to be down the middle. Obviously, I'm not quite sure you've seen his goals, but he scored 2 really, really, really good goals in the Europa game. And I would go Diaz on the left. Now, this third guy right here could be, you know, the one thing that changes, LB. I'll be real with you. Like, it might be the only guy that, you know, is Hussam 100% certain. Because you see the guy that you just changed his name, Jota, had he been fit, it wouldn't have even been a question. Now, the reality is, it's a question of whether it's Diaz or Gakpo. There is an alternative universe. There is an alternative universe in which Gakpo starts down the middle and Nunez goes on the left. and Liverpool kind of have like a compact midfield, if you would like, with Gakpo playing quote unquote the 10, you know, so we have 4 midfielders instead of having 1, where Gakpo would play a tactical role on Rodri. That is an alternative universe. And then Nunez and Salah would act like quote unquote the forwards together. You know how like when there's a right winger and a left winger, but they're more like strikers type thing.
Yeah.
that's an alternative
So
universe.
like this, so maybe, and then Diaz goes, and then Gakpo sort of drops in, maybe a bit
Yes,
deeper, almost like
exactly.
maybe a false 9 type position here,
100%.
and then try and, because that
So
midfield
Gakpo
battle,
would basically do a tactical role on Rodri. That's the alternative universe. It's
Yeah.
a possibility Klopp does this as well. This is honestly what I think would happen, because Gakpo and Diaz is really the only thing that I see being a decision. I don't
Yeah.
think Klopp is going to go Bradley in a game as big as this. I think he's going to go Gomez with the experience and with the defensive now, and the fact that Foden plays probably on that side a bit more sometimes. And then you've got Robertson on the other side. So I think that's really the only question, LB. I'm going to be real with you, whether it's Diaz or Gakpo.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with you, I think I'd be more scared at this. I'd be more scared of this because I just feel that if you was to play Gakpo, let's just pretend Diaz is Gakpo, yeah, for a second. If you was to play Gakpo there, there's a chance that we could force you back a little bit more. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, the risk is that we don't get you back, and that your midfield is able to compete with our midfield, and actually we struggle to play through the middle. But the benefits would be that we could potentially force your players back and force Salah back down here, and the same with Nunez. That for me would probably be. But I'd be a lot more scared of this, because if you did that, you know, you whilst yes, you're probably going to get more success in the midfield here. I don't think there's any doubt about that, because we'd have probably 4 players in the midfield opposed to 3. The counter attack with this 3. The pacing behind, because we're going to play a high line. I mean, we will go there and play, you know, risky football. That, and obviously we've seen this against Manchester United, by the way. And obviously, and you watched the game. In the first half, we were playing okay, but the threat in behind for Rashford, you know, if that's Nunez or that's Salah or that's Diaz, you know, there's a high
Different
probability.
quality, obviously.
Yeah, it's a different. That's what I'm saying. So I for one, I think this is what it would be. It would surprise me if Klopp didn't go with these tactics. But if he does go with these tactics, the ball in behind for me would be a concern. But I think we would get some joy in that midfield. It's just about, do we take our chances, and how much can we prevent that counter attack over the top? So that's it. There's no more decisions for you. It's just Gakpo or Diaz.
Yeah, because what other decisions there are to make? Trent isn't fit. Alisson isn't fit. Obviously, Jones isn't there. You know, in midfield now, people might be watching this going like, "Haha, Hussam talking about Curtis Jones." But people who have been watching Liverpool this season, I know LB had done quite a few prayer longs. Curtis Jones has been having a really good season for us. So
He's a good player.
Obviously the big miss is Jota, but to be honest, other than that, like what is there for me to change? There is nothing that's changeable to begin with. And if Konate isn't fit, then it's probably Gomez next to Van Dijk with Bradley on the right. That's the only thing I would say. But other than that, there is really no other changes. Me personally, I prefer Tsimikas over Robertson. I'm not going to say that out loud. But Klopp is going to play his son in it. It's just pointless. It's just pointless.
Right, I'm going to whack in the team that I think Pep Guardiola's going to go for. Ederson in goal. Kyle Walker at right back. There are quite a few City fans that would rather see a Akanji right back, but that's just not going to happen. It's going to be Ruben Diaz.
You probably need Walker in this game, to be fair. Counter-attacking threat.
Yeah, probably do. Probably do, especially if John Stones pushes him into the midfield. Yeah, we definitely do. Ake would be coming in against Salah there in the middle. The midfield, I think it's going to be Rodri. Let me put Haaland up top, because that makes life a little bit easier. And here's what I think he's going to do. This is the most simple thing that you can do. De Bruyne, I'll put him over. Maybe I'll put him there.
Yep.
I think Kovacic will play.
And that's the weakness right there for me.
I think Phil Foden and then Bernardo Silva. I think that's.
Can I ask you a question about your own club?
Yeah.
Would it shock you, before you even analyze, would it shock you if Kovacic didn't play and he went to Alvarez in midfield again?
It wouldn't shock me. That's a very brave call.
Yes. So you would be worried.
It's like I don't know if worried is the correct thing to use, bro. Yeah, I'm being serious. I think the answer I'd say is the same answer that I just told you about your front three.
Yep.
Where I don't want to see this as Diaz, Nunes, Salah, but on one hand I do. It's because it's risk versus reward. Because if it's Diaz, Nunes, and Salah, Nunes ain't going to be dropping in here. Yeah, Nunes is going to be on the shoulder trying to get in behind. That will give us the potential to overrun your midfield. If you play Alvarez, that gives us even more attacking threat in there, which is good going forward. But the risk on the transition is probably worse than having Kovacic in there. So it's about the risk, man. Like if you play Alvarez in here instead of Kovacic, you're going for it.
If I see Alvarez, you see how you said you're more confident with seeing Gakpo. If I see Alvarez, that's my version of more confident with seeing Gakpo.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But it's a risk. The thing is with the Kovacic thing, I expect if Kovacic plays, it wouldn't surprise me to see sort of maybe like a double type of pivot here, maybe with De Bruyne in front, and we have played this system before, but it was with Foden against Newcastle at home. We played this exact same system, but instead of De Bruyne because he was injured, Phil Foden played that, and actually it's one of the best we've played all season. So I don't think Kovacic will be expected to go forward. I think he'll just be expected to keep the ball because one thing, what we got to do is right. This game is not. It is about the quality on the pitch, right? But when you come into these games, it's about moments.
Yes,
it's Manchester City versus Liverpool. It's always been about moments since we've been in these title races, yeah. And it's who gets the best moments, who capitalizes on the moments. When we go to Anfield on Sunday tomorrow, you guys will be watching this. The Anfield crowd is going to be crazy, yeah. It's going to be super hostile. It's going to be super loud. The job of my team, if I'm Pep Guardiola, the job of my team in that first 10 minutes is to keep the ball and play the most boring haram football you've ever seen in the first 10. Bro, I'm being serious. We have to, that Tuchel.
That's 100% true, by the way.
Thomas Tuchel, yeah, that's what we need to do. That first 10 minutes, I want to see my team, yeah, kill the football match. And I want to go on Twitter after 10 minutes and see people go, how boring a Man City, if people are saying that, if you're on your watch along saying, then my job is, and then we can start maybe getting into the game, getting the ball forward and maybe getting in. I don't want my team to go out there and go boom from minute one. Because if you do that, it'll go end to end and crowds love end to end.
That's what Liverpool want. Please understand, end to end is exactly what we thrive in. We live on the end to end football. You've seen it, by the way, you've seen end to end versus Sparta Prague. You've seen end-to-end versus Luton. You've seen end-to-end versus Brentford. You've seen all of these games are end-to-end and Liverpool end up winning. We love that table tennis stuff. We love that ping pong stuff.
Especially at home.
That badminton stuff.
Especially at home, bro. Because the Anfield crowd want to see that. They don't want to see City just pass, because eventually that will dull the crowd. So that's what we need to do. I always talk about these checkpoints that I do on my prayer longs, yeah. And where this was born out of was when you go to difficult grounds, you've got to not concede in the first 10, 15 minutes. Because if you do that, man, it's tough. And in fact, again, I was listening to the podcast this morning with Overlap. Gary Neville said the same thing. He said when he used to go to tough away grounds, they all used to say in the dressing room before the game, in the locker room, he said, let's not concede a goal for the first 15 minutes. Because then the crowd will start to quieten down a little bit, and then you can get confidence. You go, actually, 15 minutes in here, we've not conceded a goal. Let's now start to play some football. That is the job of my team. Yeah, I don't want my team going end to end from minute one. And maybe if we do go to end, maybe it could be successful. You don't want that to happen. You need to slow your way into the game, man.
First 50 minutes is extremely pivotal, by the way, for both teams. For both teams, because if I expect. And I'm sure you probably expect the same thing. The first 15 minutes, Liverpool are going to be the better team. I'd like to come out because we always come out the blocks firing like there's no tomorrow. Those first 15 minutes, we're always on it, So I expect us to be like firing in the first 50 minutes. That's why what you said is 100% correct, and I agree with you completely. You should be able to just pass the ball around and make it as boring as possible and just have possession, you know. And I think if you do that, then you will quiet down the Anfield crowd. I agree with completely. Which, by the way, ever since the Klopp announcement has been a lot louder than usual. We have to also give them credit, because ever since the Klopp said, okay, I'm just going to leave at the end of the season, the Anfield crowd have been like some sort of bombonera atmosphere, like it's the Boca Juniors, you know. We've just been going mental. It was even a good atmosphere versus Norwich at home. I'm not even talking just about the big games. I'm talking about like it's a good atmosphere generally. So I think those first 15 minutes are going to be so important. Beyond
that's why I think he's going to play Kovacic though, bro. Because Pep will know in this game, yeah. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep the ball. Play Rodri, Kovacic in the middle, yeah. And
where's Doku in all this equation?
Doku ain't playing, bro.
But here's the thing: there is a world in which it's Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden, and then Doku on the left. Why not?
There is a world that happens, but I just don't think this is the game for Doku, man. Well, you need, bro. This game could decide the title. You need players who handled it. Kovacic, man, he's one of the most experienced players in European football. Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Chelsea, multiple Champions Leagues, multiple league titles, over 100 caps for his country. This guy, yeah, knows what he needs to do. I'm afraid Jeremy Doku is just simply too inexperienced to play in a game of this magnitude for me. Yeah, he's played, 4,000 minutes in his whole career of professional football. And you're going to throw him in at Anfield in a game that, in my opinion, we have to win. And there are certain things that you have to do. The dark arts, you'll have to do that. You know what I mean? This is what you have to do to try and win these football matches. So for me, no, listen, I'd rather have him on the bench. You know, if we're losing or we're drawing and we think we need to throw him on last 15 minutes, cause a little bit of havoc, maybe you could do that. But you need players in this game, and it's the same for you, I think. You need players in this game that have been there and done it and know what is about to happen. Because otherwise, look, they could crumble. And he's not going through great form. And if you throw him in and he has a stinker game again, the guy's just going to get absolutely cooked. You know what I mean? I don't think that's good for him. So, listen, they're the teams that we've gone for. Listen, I'm going to back my team. I think we can win this game. I think we will win the game. I've gone for a 3-1 Manchester City win. Mohamed Salah to score.
3-1. Show me some respect, brother. At least say 2-1.
No, 3-1. 3-1 is it's not a humiliation. 3-1, Salah to score, Haaland 2, and Phil Foden with the goal. That's what I'm doing, man. I'm confident that we can win this game. I'm confident we can win this game.
You want to hear, like, honestly, you want me to just be genuinely honest? I have never seen a game scream out draw more than this game my whole life. This genuinely has 2-2.
Don't say that though, bro, because Arsenal fans will be buzzing, man.
LB, I know. I completely agree. What did I say? For the first just go watch back the first 10 minutes of the stream. I said a draw will only help Arsenal, which is exactly what is going to happen. If I listen, I can, obviously I want Liverpool to win. Liverpool 2-1, all that good stuff. That's my prediction. But if you want me to just remove all emotion out and just go like LB, let's be 100% just completely common sense. It has a draw. It smells of a draw. I've never seen a game smell of a draw from two big six sides more than this one. You could just see it going like, tit for tat, like, Liverpool score and then City equalize, and then Liverpool score and then City, and then Liverpool and then City, and blah, blah, blah. You could just sense it. Like, it just has 2-2 or 3-3 written all over it, with the Arsenal fans just getting absolutely so happy. I can just see it. I don't know why, because the way I'm looking at it, everything is just going Arsenal's way right now. It's like just no injuries, players scoring goals left, right, and center and stuff.
It's true.
So honestly, if you want me to be genuinely just honest and push all emotions aside, I really think this will be a draw, either 2-2 or 3-3. Honestly, it just smells of it. I don't think any of us will capitalize. And it's just going to be Arsenal lurking in the background, just waiting there, just smelling the blood. I could just imagine it, to be honest with you.
So if it ends in a draw, and Arsenal let's assume Arsenal are beating Brentford, unfortunately.
They will.
Arsenal will be on 64. You will be on 64. And we will be on 63. Arsenal will be top on goal difference. And we will be 1 point behind. City, obviously, next game would be against Arsenal.
That's mad.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. It's gonna be.
That's what's gonna happen as well, LB. Deep down, like when you stare at the roof late at night and you're just thinking like, I can't sleep tonight. You're probably thinking it's gonna be a draw, isn't it? Be real.
No,
How
I
about
think we're
the
going to win.
shot not cross your
I
mind?
hear the draw. I hear the draw shout because a draw. Whilst I don't think a draw's a good result at all, I really don't. It keeps us in
Not
it,
good for us
and
either.
but a loss for City would be catastrophic, to be honest with you. So it wouldn't surprise me if City were reserved, and that's why I think we'll play Kovacic and Rodri in a sort of more double pivot to try and protect
And a loss
our
for us would be
defense.
catastrophic. What does that smell of?
Yeah, very possibly. Yeah, very possibly. So yeah, I do see the shout for a draw, but I think we're going to go there and do it. Listen, guys, I want you to get your comments in down below. Score predictions. What do you think? Liverpool need to win this game. Does City need to win this game? If it's a draw and Arsenal have won, of course, you'll know the Arsenal score by the time this video goes up. Who's favourite for the title at this point? Yeah, because we don't know the Arsenal score when we're doing this. So let us know in the comment section below. Obviously, we'll both be doing our live watch-alongs, man. So I'm sure I'll be tuning into Hussam during the live watch-along, seeing his reactions. But you guys can check out Hussam on This Is Football. We also do a show on Footy Judge Mo every Thursday around 1:30. They're great shows, man. So make sure you check them out. But yeah, bro, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate your time. And
No worries. It
good
was
luck,
a
bro.
brilliant show. Time just flew by as well, as per usual.
It did,
But
man.
big up Hussam LB connection. Let's go.
Let's go. Guys, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.